So for those that know me personally, you know that my wife is going through a rough time right now. We just got news about a week ago that we lost her sister. So I want to do something to try to make my wife laugh. I want to make a stand-up video for my wife, and that's what I'm going to do right now. This was actually her idea, since there's no open mics going on really right now. So I'm just going to roll with some of the material I've written, and I hope this makes my wife laugh. That's obviously, I hope it makes other people laugh, but that's the whole point of this. 2020 has been a really stressful year for her, for us, and humor is kind of what got us through. So Laura, I love you. So I'm a pretty awkward person. I have schizophrenia, so that doesn't really help at all. I'm awkward at work. I'm awkward in public. I'm awkward pretty much everywhere. I'm even awkward when I'm just like at home rubbing one out, you know, like just slapping it around, just like maybe not even in the mood, just like this seems like a good time, you know. Turn on some Pornhub, just try to romance myself a little bit. And then, so I'll be doing my thing. One voice will pop up and he'll be like, "Hey man, is there anything I can do to help?" And I'm like, I mean, I guess you could like cradle the balls, or I don't know. Then another voice pops up, and that one's like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this in a church. Then another one pops up, and I'm just like, nah, it's fine. Priests have been doing, the Catholic Church has been doing worse for millennia. Then I realized that I've said all of this out loud, and everybody's looking at me. And I just have to, you know, like, finish fast. And sorry everybody, have a good day. I've had a lot of jobs where being awkward wasn't in my favor. I was a body piercer for about 4 years. So needless to say, I've had more dicks in my hand than I thought I would at this point. I've got most of the men topped that are going to watch this. Maybe about 3 of the women. I don't know. I've touched a lot of dicks, man. And there's no good way to like pierce someone's junk. You know, like you're always staring into their sack, and they're like, all right, take a big deep breath. And it's just, it's awkward. I've also been a dental hygienist. Yeah, man, dental hygiene was rough. People come in and, yeah, they explain to you that they haven't brushed their teeth in a week, and like the proper response that you should say is just like, well, if you're not brushing your teeth, that puts you in a higher risk for cavities, and all the bacteria that's developing on your teeth can lead to congestive heart failure or other serious medical conditions. And like that's what you should say, but like half the time I was just like, hey man, like you should probably brush your teeth. Like that's kind of gross. So needless to say, I didn't last very long in that industry. I work at a hospital currently. It's a pretty important job because no one I work with really wants to do it. In all honesty, a monkey could do my job. And not even like the smart circus monkeys, like the one at the zoo that throws shit at you. Management does a lot to support us. They try to tell us things like, why the fuck is this name spelled wrong? Or, Jesus Christ, can you work any slower? It gets to a point where I just get so stressed out that I just start throwing shit at people. I'm a stepdad. That's pretty fun. That's the best thing that has probably ever happened to me. And my wife is a super mom. Like, she cooks, she cleans, she busts her ass to make sure everything in the house is taken care of. And I try really hard, but I suck. Like, if in the household, like, if we were Marvel movies, she would be like all of the Avengers. And I would be like Deadpool. Like, basically just there to like put on Band-Aids and be like, hey man, like, gotta do your schoolwork. I don't know. Like, I try to help out as much as I possibly can. It's hard, because like, my wife has taught me everything I know about being a parent. Being a stepdad, again, is really fun. She's taught me everything I know about how to handle kids. I've only ever been the cool uncle, which is basically just like showing up and giving them a bunch of candy, fucking around a little bit too much, teaching them swear words, or just like being at the birthday party, you know? That's easy. But being a parent is like so much work. And you basically just try not to fuck them up. Like, that's the whole existence of being a parent. It's just like, I'm gonna fuck them up a little bit, but I don't know. Like, just hoping it's not permanent damage, you know? I know a lot of really cool fun facts that I try to teach him. He'll ask about sharks or aliens. The best example is sharks. And I'll just be like, hey man, like, did you know that the prehistoric shark called a megalodon actually has no proof that it actually went extinct? And he's just like, thanks, I regret this immediately because I'm going to have nightmares for weeks. I own a Kia Soul. We bought it so he could have more of a family car. I used to drive a Mitsubishi Eclipse. There's no back seat in a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's barely a car. And like a big selling point was those hamster commercials that came out like forever ago, you know? Where it's like, you can get with this, or you can get with that. And if I was a furry, those would be my fursona. We bought the car, like I said, because we needed more of a family car to get him to and from daycare, to drive him around instead of not having a back seat. So the day we bought it, we tried to surprise him at school. And like we picked him up a little bit early and we just like hyped it up, like, we got a surprise for you, it's gonna be so cool. And like we got out to the car and we're like, yo, I got a new car. And he was just like, I don't care, where's the surprise? I'm like, well, that is the surprise. And he's just like, he didn't care at all. I've got a running joke with my son, my stepson. His dad will get mad if I say my son, but whatever. In case you didn't know, 5-year-olds are really easy to make laugh. So my running joke is I just like, hey bud, guess what? He's like, what? And I just fart as loud as I possibly can. It kills every single time. Like, it's not even fair how much it kills. My wife's pretty over it. It's been a little bit over a year of that joke, and she's pretty over farts. And that's kind of what it's like to live with men. It's just farts and dick jokes. Speaking of farts and 5-year-olds, he will seriously play like Russian roulette with his farts. Like the other day we were sitting down for lunch. He's like, I can't tell if I have to fart or if I have to poop. And he pushes! Like he's just like, ah! And then he farts really loud. Like that could have gone so wrong. Like you could have shit your pants, dude. To have that confidence or trust with anything in my life would be a blessing, you know? Like, I can't just walk, I barely trust my own farts. since we're on the topic of kids, if you don't vaccinate your kids, what a way to be like, I really shouldn't have been a parent. You know, like where do you get your facts? All the articles I read are peer reviewed, and that's what I have to do for school. I'm going to school for public health, healthcare administration. All of my, they're barely fact checked. Like, if I wanted that kind of advice, I'd go to a holistic doctor. I'm also under the impression that every great chef thinks outside the box. Like, I'll make a sandwich out of anything. Mac and cheese, put it on bread, add some steak sauce, sandwich. Day-old lasagna, slap it on bread. Anything that's leftovers, I'll make into a sandwich. I'll find a way, and all you gotta do is just doctor it up with the rest of the leftovers, man. I also feel like we're all one divorce and 5 guitar lessons away from being a folk singer. Like, that's my plan if my wife divorces me. Like, maybe I can win her back. I hope I can, you know, like, I'll just write horribly depressing songs about wanting to kill myself and that she left me, like, and that's just, like, my game plan. Like, if she ever decides that she wants a divorce, just basically gonna be the next great folk singer. That's my whole plan, man. The hardest I've ever made my wife laugh was the day she met my biological father. He was getting married. He lives about 2 hours away. So we made a trip for, I think it was a Friday, left Saturday evening after the wedding. Like I said, he was getting married, and I used to listen to a lot of Pandora, and they had this commercial, and it's like a shaving commercial, and they're going on and on about how good these razor blades are, and then out of nowhere there's just like the heaviest, thickest Australian accented man, just like, oh, let's put some shrimp on the bobby. Like, that's a terrible Australian accent, by the way, but and I looked, after that passed, I looked her like dead in her soul. And I was like, you can shave a koala with this. And she laughed for like 20 minutes. She almost peed herself. I've also never got the whole like, oh, marriage is game over, bro. Like, it's not. It's the beginning of a whole new chapter. You get to, it's an adventure. I'm tired of people hyping up one-night stands. They're awkward. They're uncomfortable. I've had one, and I regret it. That was the one thing that I regret more than anything in the world. It was uncomfortable. Like, we finished, and then it was just like, so what do you want to do now? And I was like, not talk about this. I don't know. Like, you don't really want to cuddle after either. You're just kind of like, oh, I feel dirty. At least that's how I felt. So marriage is pretty awesome to me. Like, you don't have to do like positions you don't want to do. You can just like hone in your dick game. I'm her forever dick. Like, I get to, and you know what? Like, she doesn't always get off, you know, and that's okay. If you're a man and you think you always get your partner off, you don't. Like, that's just a fact. Like, they'll lie to you, they'll fake it, you know, they'll make you feel good about it, but like, they don't always get off. And that's okay. Like, because you're a team now. So you just high five after, and you snuggle, and you tell cute jokes, and just like, and then as a married man, I always try to give like my A+ dick game. Like now that I'm married, like even when I was engaged, I just come like too fast. Like, that's probably TMI, but like I just get excited. Like I'm like, yo, like the most beautiful person in the world to me wants to touch my dick. Like, that's cool. Like, that's the shit. That's me living my best life. And like, I don't know, like, my wife is drop dead gorgeous. She is way out of my league. So the fact that like she wants to do anything with me is pretty awesome. Like she's like an 18 out of 10, and I'm like a hard 2. But I make her laugh, so I'm more of like a soft 4 to her. And like I just get excited. Like it's awesome. Like she puts up with my bullshit, like more than anybody else ever has. Like this is my first healthier relationship. Like it's like finding someone that you love and that loves you really profoundly is such a beautiful thing. Because like you can shit your pants in front of them. Like you don't have to hide it. Just like I sharted. I don't know. Like, and then you're like, hey, can you like grab me a new pair of underwear? And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. I'm like, can you help me wipe? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, it's worth a shot. Speaking about sex, why is it okay to announce that you're trying for a baby, but I can't just walk around like I fuck a lot? You know, like I don't pull out either. Where's my congratulations? Like sometimes I rub one out late at night. Sometimes it wakes my wife up. Sometimes it doesn't. But she's never really like all that mad that it woke her up. Like I got a lot of jewelry downstairs, so it like jingles. It's kind of like Pavlov's dog, you know, where it's like, if you don't know Pavlov, he did an experiment with dogs where he rang a bell every time he fed his dogs dinner. And that's kind of like how my wife is when I'm rubbing one out. She's just like, oh, okay, like jingle jingle, it's dinner time, baby girl, you know. We're going to get into music. My wife and I go to a lot of shows. At least we used to before this pandemic happened. So music was like a big part of our life. And rap nowadays isn't the same. Like, it's not subtle anymore. It's just like, I'm going to fuck your ass. Whereas like, in the early 2000s we had songs like Candy Shop by 50 Cent. Do, 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 do. I'll take you to the candy shop. Do, 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 do. I'll let you lick the lollipop, you know? Like, subtle. It's about a blowjob. You know that. Like, your kids don't, you know? The rapper of the game, one of my all-time favorites, but he has a song where he talks about, like, rolling a blunt on his bitch's back while he hits it, doggy style. Like, if you can do that, you're a lazy partner. Like, usually, when I'm hitting it from behind, I'm trying to blow her back out. You know, like, speaking of weed, I don't know if people still do this, but like, way back when it was like really popular to be like, yo, this weed is so loud, bro. And I never got that because every time I smoke weed, I just get real quiet. I want to get into the real questions, the real nitty gritty. Like, as a hype man, why does Flavor Flav wear a clock? Does he always have to keep time for the rest of the group? And like, I guess you know that the show's about to end sooner than later if that clock is on time, you know? Is that how they keep track of, like, the beats? I don't know. I'm not generally a very happy person. I don't think most people that do anything in the arts really are. And I feel like that's a stigma that has been around for like a while now. Like beautiful artists like Vincent van Gogh, raging alcoholic. Didn't he kill himself? You know, like he would like eat his paints because he was so depressed and like didn't know how to cope. I've done a lot of things to try to make myself happy, like abusive relationships or like a lot of self-loathing, um, like this. Um, and I did like a lot of drugs. I don't do drugs anymore, but I don't think drugs are bad because I just don't have time to do them anymore. When you're a parent or step parent, you just don't have time. The only ones I would do is like psychedelics, but I don't really have 5 to 8 hours to be completely out of my mind anywhere in my week. Not that my wife like would want to come home to like me like you know. When you're a miserable person, you want to be happy. So like that's why people do drugs, you know. They're easy to come by, and it's a temporary high. Being completely sober is kind of like being a part of Plato's allegory of the cave. If you don't know Plato's allegory of the cave, what did you do in high school? To break it down, there's people locked in a cave, and they are shown like shadows of elephants or other people, and that's really their only interaction that they have with the outside world, until one of them escapes and sees that the world is much bigger than just this cave. So being completely sober is kind of like you're in the cave and you're just dealing with the shadows, you know. And then you try drugs, and that's your escape into the outside world. And you keep chasing that high because you want that feeling. You want to know that you're not alone in all of this. Eventually, that you just realize that all of this is just in your head. There was no outside world. And that's like the easiest way I can describe addiction. That's why I've been sober from all the hard stuff for about 11 years now. I still drink. I try not to drink too much. I know that's a struggle that I'm going to have to deal with my entire life. And I'm not saying this because I want to do drugs. I don't need them at this point, but I understand why people use them. Drugs have done a lot of really beautiful things in the world. Like I said, Vincent van Gogh, he drank himself to death on absinthe. All of your favorite musicians, Korn, the Beatles. I mean, fuck the Beatles, but like, you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, most artists, you know, have done at least some drugs. Some of them don't need to, and like more props to them. Like I've known completely sober tattoo artists that do amazing, beautiful work, and that's amazing. And I also know like people addicted to heroin, just like painting to feed their addiction, and like they're homeless, and but there's a catch, and that catch is the allegory of the cave. You know it's out there, and your life changes. And that's why I think we're not monkeys anymore. Isn't that like some Joe Rogan shit? Like, yo, bro. And honestly, white people as a race have, like, no culture. Like, really our only culture is stealing things from other cultures and races of people. Spices, music, food, everything. That's all we've ever been good at. That, and I guess dehumanizing other races. You know, we're the best. We're not. We're all just stupid monkeys, man. But do you think like back like millions of years ago, like there were other monkeys? Some of them were like, that one's cooking with spices. Get him. That one's beatboxing. Get him. That one's starting to build a plane. Nah, that one's good. But that one over there dancing. Get him! And let me be very clear about something. Supporting a racist ass president is not culture. No matter how many flags you have, how many bumper stickers you have. And some of these idiots that do this seem to think that it is. But it's just you being a piece of shit. But let's be honest, most presidents of our nation have been racist. Even Lincoln. You want to know how I know? Because segregation lasted until 1964. That's not even a lifetime ago, people. And now we have some weird white supremacist groups called the Proud Boys. What do you have to be proud about? That no one wants to fuck you and you don't know how to season food? Get the fuck out of here. You know, like, and the last thing I want to talk about is fetishes. Fetishes are a completely normal thing. Everybody's got one. Whether you think you do or not. There's something that you like, and if you have more than one, usually one of them's a little weird. You know what? That's okay. Just be upfront about it. And it's, like, I like to be slapped around during sex. You know, like, it's just what does it for me. Like, that's always uncomfortable to bring up the first time that you're with somebody. You know, like how do you break that down? Like, hey, like, hit me. You know, like it never goes how you plan it to. They usually just give you like a light tap and then like, I'm so sorry. I also like fisting. Of course, the guy who's got his junk pierced is into some hardcore shit. It's cool. Tool wrote a song about it. It was the first porn I ever watched. Like, I just went straight to the hardcore shit. Because mama didn't raise no bitch. You know? And I've come to realize there's no good way to bring that up to someone. There's no right way, but there's definitely not a polite way to bring it up. The closest thing I've come to is, can I turn you into a human sock puppet? Hello, everybody! That's all I have. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this video. Maybe I'll do another one. Thanks again for watching. If this was a Netflix special, I would call this jokes that I hope make my wife laugh. Again, Laura, I love you so much.